And so I had one meeting with a guy who called me. He said, Ali, I'm from South London. I'm not sure I should name him because he usually wanted to become anonymous.
Maybe not.
Yeah. So he said to me, Ali, I'm from this music group. And I was like, what do you mean music? Yeah, we do music for the Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam. And again, this is another major learning curve for me because I didn't even know that existed. I didn't even know that was allowed. I thought music haram, music haram, music haram, music haram, regardless, yani, in any way, shape or form. So for him to say, yeah, we're part of a rap group and a music group that do stuff for the Ahl al-Bayt alayhim salam, I was like, well, how can I help you? And he said, I want to have a meeting with you. قلت له fine, let's have a meeting. So we sat down in a cafe, and he said to me, look, he goes, I think you have a voice, Zain. It's very limited. You've limited yourself to one style, which is fine, but you can do more. And at that time, I was thinking about mass reach and how do I get there and what do I do? Yani ma'qula, are you serious? I can get latmiyat to go for a non-Muslim to listen to a latmiyah and he'll be affected by it. Yani, can it work like that? So this guy came along and said to me, look, you have the voice, but you have zero capabilities when it comes to the Western world. And it was a bit of a shock because at that time I was a bit of a somebody, yani. And so for someone to tell me that, it was just like, what do you mean? Like, he goes, yeah, I'm going to be realistic with you. You might be doing well with these Iraqi style.
With your community.
Yeah, with your community, but this is nothing. Yani, you've got zero influence outside and you have zero capabilities and you need a lot of work.
How did you take that?
Yani, at first I was like, what was this guy talking about? Because I'm doing really well. Like, you know, people are telling me I'm good.
I'm Mullah Ali Fadhil.
What's
this guy talking about?
What's this guy talking? So then I was like, you know what? Let me hear this guy out because I was ready to learn. At that stage, I was ready to learn. And so I was like, well, can you teach me? He goes to me, I can only just teach you, but I've got a song. And this is the first time I'm hearing like song and tune and music. And to me, it was like, I can't, yani, inherently, I'm like, I'm against this. I'm against this. But there was something in the back of my mind thinking, actually, give it a go. Just give it a go. Zain? قلت له fine. He goes, I have a song for you. قلت له, he sang it there and then. He sang higher to me there and then.
Okay.
In the cafe.
It was his words, his
tune, his melodies. The whole thing was his.
Just come and do it, mate. Just come and sing it.
And then he sang it in front of me. And I'm like to myself, what the hell is that? I'm not doing that. Are you serious?
My boys are going to kill me. They hear me.
Not only that, I'm like, that is buzz. I'm not going to listen to that. Are you serious? But then at the end of it, Jamalta, yani, I was nice to him. I complimented him and I was like, yeah, that's really nice. And I think I was like, okay, ma'asalam, bye. And I didn't call him. I was like, I'm not doing that. I didn't like how it sounded. Obviously, I'm in a cafe. There's no mic or anything like that, and it was just him and his voice. Khatay, the poor guy, he had a very good voice for what he was doing in terms of rap and we call ballads, basically, kind of soft melodies. He was brilliant at that. I loved it. Till now I listen to his stuff. But for me to hear it, and again, this is all a learning curve for me. I'm used to a certain culture, certain background, certain melody, and then it realized, okay, so that's how Iraqis see English tatmiyat. Is that how they hear it? And so I thought, no, I don't really want to do this. And then he called me again and goes, look, this is the situation. I've got a studio booked up. What do you think? You know what? I'm going to go give it a go. Because everything is on us. We have a studio. We have the recordings, everything. Just come and record it. Fine. I'll do it. I spoke to a couple of people here as well. Namely, one of them, Sajjad, and other people as well. Listen, this is a situation. What do I do? Give it a go. Might be a ishkal. Obviously, in the post-production, you can then start to influence what can and can't be included in terms of music, beats and stuff like that. And I went to the studio. He gave me the lyrics. He goes to me, practice before you come. I practiced as much as I could. He recorded the tune for me. So I went and Haj Mustafa, it took me 17 attempts at one line. Just the opening lyric, the opening sentence. It took me 17 goes, maybe even more. I just could not sing. I can recite. Give me an Arabic melody and I will do it.
You didn't want that. He wanted you to sing.
He wanted me to sing. My throat box, voice box, esophagus, whatever you want to call it,
wasn't used to that.
The strings in my voice box are used to Arabic melodies.
I see.
Yeah. I cannot sing. For the life of me, I cannot sing.
What's the first line on Haya, by the way?
Don't leave me.
Oh, don't.
I cannot sing. تعبت وياه, and there were certain situations I'm like, listen, I give up. I don't want to do this. He goes, no, just keep going. You almost got it. He believed in me. He goes, you're almost there. And he was so technical with me. For example, don't leave me. That E, don't leave me, has to be not E. I'm like, I can't hear the difference. No, he goes, E. I cannot hear the difference. Habibi anta, please. He goes, no, you can still do it. So then, after it took us 3-4 hours, just to do the first opening couple of lines.
Wow.
Yeah, but it took a lot of work. And post-production, a couple of people sat down with us, and I could hear it loud. And I'm like, okay, this sounds a bit better. But I am terrified
of
the backlash, because this is not what I was used to. This is not what I'm used to. This is not what the community is used to. And I know for a fact this is a major change to what everyone's used to. Everyone is scared of change. And it was very apparent as to who was really scared of change for the bad and scared of change for the good. That doesn't make sense. Who was scared of the change because they didn't want basically this to be opening the door to certain things that might happen in the future. By the way, I wasn't the first person to do this anyway. There were a lot of other rawadid in the Arabic world who have started in this vibe of developing the recitation world. I just happened to do it in parallel with them, but on the English side. Arabic side was already on its way, The course has been set for the Arabic world, and today we can see what the results are. Anyway, for people didn't want to... My immediate audience was Iraqis. The people that gave me feedback were Iraqis. The people that criticized or even encouraged me were Iraqis. I didn't know that there was a world outside there that would be able to accept this kind of thing.
But there was.
There was, and not just Iraqis, my immediate feedback. Iraqis from a certain background, Karbala'i, Shirazis. And so obviously the feedback from them directly is going to be, Ali, no, this is haram, it's got beats, it's got music. And so I was very limited to this audience. Because I was limited to this audience, I couldn't see the wider world and how they would react to it.
And
but for me personally, my inherent, what I grew up with, this is wrong. This is wrong on all levels. I couldn't. Best there was something. I spoke to a couple of scholars. I spoke to my dad. I spoke to this person. That person could live the situation. What do you think? So it might be ishkal.
Go for it.
Fine, I'll go for it. My mistake. Biggest mistake that I made was to justify why I was doing this. Okay, so the way it was released, it was Shabab al-Sabtain Majlis. Shabab al-Sabtain are a youth group. They're still operating today, and they would do majalis for Muharram.
May Allah bless them.
Yeah, at that time it was the 6th night, the 8th night of Qasim alayhi salam, which was known as the youth night, basically remembering the youth. And so me and a friend of mine, again I'd rather not name names just in case they wanted to stay anonymous. They're like, okay, we're going to release it on this date, which is the 8th of Muharram, and we're going to have a screen,
and we're going to play it,
there, full sound, so the 300-400 people that were there will get the first release taste. The first taste of it. So I was standing behind the curtain, behind the screen, and it was being played. I didn't see people's faces. I just heard the first 2 lines, and there was a murmur going on. Everything was like, what are we listening to? What is going on? Yeah, what is going on? And then after the first 3 lines, someone started laughing. And then now I'm like, this is a knife through my heart, because